Go ahead.
All right. Hello, and welcome to another powerful edition of Politics Hour, proudly brought to you by Diaspora Digital Media. I'm your host, Tosh Raphael, and today's conversation is one that hits home for millions of Igbo across Nigeria and beyond. Now, in recent years, the cry of marginalization has grown louder from the southeast. From political underrepresentation to economic neglect, the Igbo people continue to raise deep concerns about their place in the Nigerian project. But nothing exposed the cracks more clearly than the controversial 2025 JAM saga. Across the southeast, thousands of students were reportedly affected by irregularities and sudden system glitches during this year's UTME process. Many left stranded, disqualified, or unfairly marked. To many, it wasn't just a tech failure, it felt like a targeted blow. But the issue runs deeper than exams. From the halls of power in Abuja to the leadership vacuum in the East, the big question remains, where do the Igbos stand in today's Nigeria? And more importantly, where are we going from here? Where exactly are we going from here? To help us unpack these issues and problems, I'm joined by a man who has never shied away from confronting power and speaking the truth. Comrade Igboayaka O. He's the national president of Ohaneze Youth Council. He is an activist, a youth leader, and a relentless voice for justice and equity for Igbo. Comrade, you are welcome to Politics Hour.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, I'm honored to speak with you today. Now let us start. First of all, let's begin with the 2025 JAM saga. What exactly went wrong? And do you believe it was a deliberate attempt to frustrate Igbo students? Because we know that the glitches occurred across 157 centers in the entire southeastern Nigeria and Lagos. Of course, Lagos is in the southwest, but we know that Igbos is a kind of, the population of the Igbos in Lagos is quite significant and substantial. So, what went wrong, and do you believe this was a deliberate attempt to frustrate the Igbo students?
I think what happened on the issue of JAM with their claimed excuses of glitches in the system is false. I think it is a pure, deliberate, orchestrated conspiracy against the Igbo people. Now, the question one needs to ask, why must it be in Southeast and Lagos, where we have the population of the Igbos? Now, there is something we have decided and share our view basically on that issue. If JAM said there is a technical issue of clinches concerning the JAM examination, I think what they should have done and what we ask them to do is to cancel the whole exam nationwide and have a new exam. Because what we discovered, what they did is that in this second rescheduled exam, the student took, in our investigation, we discovered the questions were more tougher, more difficult than the first one they took. This means that the standard of JAM this year, the one the Igbos took and the one the Northerners took, is not the same standard. Now, if JAM are saying that it wasn't deliberate, what they could have done is to cancel the whole exam and let there be fresh exam. Now, what they did 2025 means that the standard of jump, the standard of question, and Northern took, is not the same standard. In Southeast here, it's not the same standard. And it is the same time and the same period of exam, meaning that, okay, what he solved in chemistry, trying to gain admission in University of Nigeria and Nsukka, and what Yusuf solved in chemistry, looking for admission in University of Nigeria and Nsukka to read medicine, is not the same question. The question Okeke solved is more tougher. It's a different standard than the one Yusuf solved from the north. While they are looking and seeking for the same exam at the same time. We have always said that there are two laws in Nigeria, the laws for the Igbos and the laws for the north. Everything about the Igbos changed at any particular time. We have known this. And I want to state it categorically today that there is no destination for the Igbo people in Nigeria. I have said it severally, that to be an Igbo man in Nigeria is somebody trying to take victim upon himself. It is very, very easy for you to use your leg and trek and cross Atlantic Ocean. It is very easy than to be an Igbo man in Nigeria. It is a very threatening tax, a life-threatening tax to be an Igbo man in Nigeria. I want you to take a look what happened in 2023 presidential election concerning getting 25% in FCT before you can be declared president. But today, the president we have Nigeria is an illegal imposed president of Nigeria that could not meet the constitutional provision. He couldn't get 25% in Abuja. Now, INEC claimed in 2023 election there was some little glitch. They did not cancel the election. Today, JAMB believe there is a glitch during the exam, but they have rescheduled the exam. So, it is only in Nigeria that when they see an Igbo man, like in a football pitch, anytime we want to score goal, the referee will blow a whistle that there is a need to shift or change the goalpost. So the goalpost is always changed in Nigeria when an Igbo man traps the ball and wants to score. The referee will blow a whistle that there is a need to change the goalpost. So there is no future for an Igbo man in Nigeria. There is no future. So what is a deliberate attempt to victimize the Igbos? And I challenge them, if it is not true, let them cancel 2025 JAMB exam, set fresh exam, so that the same mathematics an Igbo man solved in the East should be the same mathematics the Northerners will solve. We should be the same mathematics somebody from the West will solve. You cannot set a different standard exam for Ndi Igbo and set a different standard exam for the Northerners. And you are telling me that we are one Nigeria. You can say that talking about the unity of Nigeria is a scam, it's a fraud. There is no unity at all existing in this country. Nigeria is a failed state. Nigeria has failed.
All right, sir.
So there is of that. We have given the jam, and we are going to record this historically, that JAMB plan to victimize the Igbos. If they say otherwise, we are calling for total cancellation of 2025 JAM. For every student in the north, in the west, in the east to sit at the same time, the same exam, the same standard exam. You cannot give Southeasterners the same standard exam and give the North a different standard exam. This is orchestrated conspiracy against the Igbos. This is injustice. This is marginalization. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Comrade Igboayaka. Now, let me say that the complaints of marginalization based on, with respect to the JAM or 2025 UTME, some students in northern Nigeria also expressed that concern. You know, there is no doubt that the southeast, or should I say, southern Nigeria is, you know, educationally advantaged more than the north. Now, in this unified tertiary examination that has just taken place, some students in the north saw the retaking of examinations in some parts of the South as also, you know, an orchestrated effort to marginalize the North, because some students in the North complain of, you know, this glitch also in their own exams. I remember one saying that 20 minutes after he started his exam, the computer logged off, and in the end, what happened? He got a wrong result. But then JAM decided to retake exam or receive that exam only in the South. So they also complained that the opportunity given to the South, you know, some students in the South to retake an exam was a kind of an advantage that the North was not given the same opportunity. So what's your take on that?
They are lying. If they are not lying, let their leaders, let the leaders in the north rise up now and demand for total cancellation. I said they are lying. It is a pure conspiracy against the Igbos. If the truth, let their leaders and demand total cancellation of JAM. Let the whole country take one uniform exam. Thank you.
Okay, all right. But why do you think issues like this continue to affect the Southeast disproportionately? And what has been the response from the political class, especially the Igbo
we don't have political class in Igbo land. What we have is political transaction people, political transaction politicians, people who believe or who understand that leadership is about trade by barter. We don't have political leaders in Southeast. What we have is we have the worst kinds of place, the worst kind of slaves in Southeast. There are two kinds of slaves: the slaves that works in the field and slaves that works in the kitchen. Unfortunately, our senators and our governors, they are slaves that work in the kitchen. So, if the slaves that are working in the field is complaining about the hunger, they are not feeling the hunger because these politicians, these Southeast politicians, they are slaves that works in the kitchen. So they have opportunity to collect one small meat and eat. They will collect food and eat in the kitchen because they are working in the kitchen. So this was what happened during the time of slavery. So during the time of slavery, those that are working in plantation or in orchard and so many places, they complain and they revolt that they want to fight against the masters. Why those that are working in the kitchen, that also slave, will be coming them down? That is what is happening in Southeast today. So the so-called political elite, they are slave to northern political oligarchy. They are slave to Western power. So when you address them as political leaders, I laugh. These are political oppressors. These are political vampires. These are political cannibals. That they lack simple empathy, what leadership is all about. They don't know the plight of Igbo. But what I'm telling them, and I want to use the opportunity to warn the Southeast leaders, that what happened in Haiti will happen in Nigeria. Very soon, the politicians in Igbo land will be on the run because they are pushing the youth to the wall. And I believe very soon the youth will revolt and react. And there will be a political tsunami. There will be a political revolution that is coming up that will make the politicians in Southeast to be on their heels. They will run away if time is not taken. So our leaders are causing more problem to us. I have said it. And I wish to re-emphasize about this, that if you check marginalization of the Igbos in Nigeria, I want to tell you that the Igbo political office holders constitute 75% marginalization of the Igbos, while the federal government of Nigeria constitutes 25%.
Could you throw more light on that?
That is the simple truth. Now, we are talking about the issue of what happened concerning JAM. Now, how many governors in Alibo rise and condemn and say, no, this will not stand? How many senators? How many House of Rep members? Apart from Ugochi Imo, who stood and challenged that and made some comment concerning that. How many of them have challenged what JAM did to Southeastern people? So that is why I'm telling you that we have part that they are part of our problem. Now, on the issue of railway, in the west and in the north, they had double gauge railway. But what they gave us is single gauge, outdated, old railway. That is what they're bringing to Southeast. Our leaders are keeping quiet. Our governors are keeping quiet. Now, today, the Imo State and other states is the highest depositor of gas to the Nigerian government. Yet, we don't have industrial gas pipeline within our limits for industrial revolution. We don't have it. Now, I want to tell you that in terms of business globally in the world, now let me start in Nigeria. When you talk about business in Nigeria, the Igbos, they are at the top of business in Nigeria. But I want to tell you, we don't have seaports in Igbo land. And I want to tell you that we have potential seaport that is very close to Atlantic Ocean, more than Lagos. We have a potential seaport at Osokwa in Ihiala local government that linked to Osemoto in Ukuta local government. Only 18 nautical miles to Atlantic Ocean. But that of Lagos is almost 50-something nautical miles to Atlantic Ocean. We have a potential seaport at Azumiri, Ukwa East local government. We have Obako there. We have One. What the federal government did is to put a high policy that will make it difficult for people to make use of One. So if you check the amount of money you will use to ship your goods to One and the one you will use in Lagos, you discover that One is very, very expensive than Lagos. So these are the conspiracy in order to undermine businesses in Igbo land. We also have another potential seaport at Akwa Ibom, known as Ibaka River. We also have another potential seaport, Oziza River, at Afipo. These are the potential seaports we have in Igbo land that are more closer to Atlantic Ocean, more than Lagos. Why are they not making use of it? Our governors are keeping quiet, our senators are keeping quiet. And these are very viable facts that we believe and we know that the Southeast leaders, they are part of the problem we are suffering in Igbo land because they are keeping quiet. They are part of the marginalization. They are part of the victimization of the Igbo people. Now, if you talk about traveling, there is no place in the world today you cannot see an Igbo man. Igbos are the highest travelers in the world, but we don't have a functional international airport. They are playing politics with the one in Enugu, and our leaders are keeping quiet. If you want to travel across the country, you need to go to Kanu. You need to go to Lagos. You need to go to Abuja. before you can board to any Western world. We are the travelers, but we don't have functional international airports. And our leaders are keeping quiet. And that is why we know that they are our problem. So when you ask me, how do I know that the Southeast leaders constitute to the problem of Igbo? These are the empirical evidence. There are many of it, but these are empirical evidence to tell you that the problem of Igbo is the Southeasterners. And I that to rise now to hold the Igbo political office holder responsible more than even how they are talking about the marginalization from the federal government. The question is, the little one the federal government gave to us, have we used it deliciously? Have we shared it equitably? The answer is no. Our rights are being trampled upon, and the political office holders in Southeast are keeping quiet. They are the major enemies of Igbo, more than the Northerners. And that is the fact. And that is why we are warning them to sit up. But I know that they will not sit up. But I want to charge the youth that the only solution to the marginalization against the Igbos is to rise up against the Igbo politicians. And that is why by 2027, I believe that we are going to do enough reorientation, social re-engineering to our youth, so that if these people don't leave power in Southeast, if we don't stop the recycling of leaders in Igbo land, our problem will continue to grow more large and larger. And that is why 2027 election will not be ordinary election. There will be a political tsunami. There will be a ballot revolution in Igbo land. We are going to retire all these political criminals, all these political profiteers. We are going to retire them. And that is the only solution for our problem. Let me tell you as a youth, unfortunately in Igbo land today, these people, they have eaten our present and they have also eaten our future. So we don't have future again in Nigeria. So what we are talking about is how to rescue the future of the children we are going to born, not even our own children, not even our own future. We don't have future in Nigeria. A youth in Igbo land doesn't have any future. So they need to stand up now to rescue and redeem the future of their children. The Southeast politicians, they have messed things up. They are the problem of an Igbo man. And by 2027, they will hear from the Igbo youth. They will run away, and we make sure that they will not stay again to constitute the political nuisance and the political saboteurs they have been engaging against the survival of Igbo. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now, what do you think about the current leadership of the Igbos? Now, in terms of because every state in Igbo land has a government, and in as much as we have the federal government has a role to play or has a responsibility to the Igbos, the governments at the state level also have huge responsibilities to the Igbos. For example, when fuel subsidy was removed in 2023, the proceeds from the removal of fuel subsidy, large chunks of these proceeds, cascaded down at the state level to the states. And the states now started to have more resources to cater for the needs of the people, their local populations. So do you think the governments of the Southeast have been doing enough in terms of infrastructure, in terms of employment, in terms of, the living standards of the local people? Do you think they have done enough, or do you think there are still some vacuums or gaps left?
Let me tell you, I always give this analogy. The attitude of Southeast political office holders is very, very disappointed. And I want to tell you that there is no Igbo person that have any iota of confidence in these leaders. Now, let me illustrate something to you. If you have a woman that is cooking rice, and that woman forgot to buy tomato, and the woman that is, a nearby market to go and rush to get the tomato, and the woman had only 1,000 naira to go outside and buy tomato for the rice. Are you getting me? And somebody that is selling granite try to convince the woman to use the 1,000 naira to buy granite. Can that woman buy the granite? Is it possible? Is it possible? Huh?
No, it's not. Okay. I was muted. I was muted. Of course, it's not.
Okay. Now, it is also impossible for the present leaders in Southeast to fix Southeast. Why? Because they are like that woman that is cooking rice that needed tomato, and you are convincing him to buy granite. Now, the leaders in Southeast had something in mind before going to the office. So what they had in mind is not to build Southeast. It is transaction, which money is coming in, and the one that I will pocket for my family. That is their motive. Like the motive of a woman that is cooking rice, that want to get tomato, and they want to convince her to buy granite. That is how you start talking to your governor to fix road. You are telling him to fix road. He will not fix road. The intention is not to fix road. You are telling him about education. He doesn't know what education is. 99% of the leaders we have in Southeast are 419s. People that were on the street in early 80s, defrauding the white and defrauding the local people. Unfortunately, in 1999, these are people that had opportunity. These are the people that had opportunity to throw money left and right. They grabbed power in 1999. And since that time, they are the people recycling this system. So they lack capacity, they lack competency, they lack credibility to fix Southeast. It's not possible. And that is why I have said that the only opportunity left for us, the new generation of Igbo extraction, is to get ready for effective mobilization. And that is why what we are doing in Ohaneze Youth Council, let every reasonable, progressive Igbo youth join Ohaneze Youth Council from your community, local government to the state level. We need to convert our population into a political capital. We need to be the real stakeholders in Igbo land to discuss and drive the future of our children. That is what we need to do. So there is no confidence, there is no trust among the Southeast leaders. They lack the capacity to move the Southeast forward. Let me remind you, historically, between 1953 and 1963, Southeastern region was the highest developing region, fast developing region in the whole world. Check it, it is on history. What is happening today? The legacy of M. Ayobara, these people have sold so many government properties and some of government firms. So we are going backward every day. So the present political leaders in Southeast cannot be trusted. Having confidence in them is like pouring your water in a basket. So that is the situation we have found ourselves. The youth need to rise up now. I'm talking about a paradigm shift, so that we can sit down in a round table, so that the youth can do effective social mobilization, reorientation to the younger generation, to know that our hope and our faith lies in us, not in these present political leaders. Let me give you a typical example so that we will understand the level of colossal leadership failure in Southeast. Go back to, if you schooled in government primary school or secondary school, go back to those schools and look at the situation of those schools today. Today, we are talking about school runs. I started hearing about school runs before. Nothing like school runs. Because each community must have a standard secondary school and primary school that are close wherever you are living. You must have a standard primary and secondary school that is close to you that you can send your children. Today, our education system is in shambles. These 419 men that are holding power, they have messed up with the education system because they don't know what is education is all about. I challenge you to go and check the budget of education in all the states in Southeast. You discover that they are giving priority and importance to other things more than education. Check the budget of education. Check the budget of health. Globally, any state and any country that want to survive, you see the budget of education first, to the budget of health. But I want to tell you, go to our state and make inquiry. The budget of education is so low. The budget of health is so low because these people, they don't know what education is all about. I want to tell the world that you cannot give what you don't have. Our leaders don't know what is education, and they don't know what human capacity building is all about. And that is why they can boast of constructing roads. Infrastructural development globally is rated 15% of the total development in a state. Infrastructure is just 15%. The remaining 85% is on human capacity building. So go to our secondary school and our primary school. Some of them you cannot see seats. Some of the primary schools in Southeast today, the total population in primary school can be 20 or 25. Some of the secondary school, go there, the total population in secondary school will be something like 60 students in the whole school. It is very, very unfortunate. And that is the level of educational decay we have in Southeast. And you are telling me that we have leaders. The private school is moving, being managed by the private people. But what the government is managing is not something to write home about. So that is an evidence. I'm going to show you an empirical evidence. Go to your primary school in your village. You're an Igbo man. Go and check that secondary. The situation is very, very unfortunate. Some of our primary school today, they are like poultry. It is very, very unfortunate. And you are telling me that we have leaders in Southeast. What we have is political transaction leaders that believe in accumulating wealth for their children. And I have said it that God has a way of dealing with them. And that is why their children are on drugs. So after amassing government properties and everything, God will give them 2 children that will be on drugs. If the man dies, they will start selling property and continue to be on drugs. He will go and sell this property, travel to any part of the country, stay in best of the hotel in any part of the world, finish the hotel with the women, and come back and sell another property. And that is the punishment of our wicked rulers in Southeast. They will continue to have children that will be on drugs. So those money for hospital, those money for education, they embezzle for their family. Nature have way of repelling them. What goes around comes around. What a man sows is what a man will reap. We have seen it historically. So there is no doubt about it. So don't even talk about the leaders in Southeast. It is very, very unfortunate what we have in Southeast. So these are the examples for you to know that what I'm saying about the marginalization of an Igbo man is not just about the federal government. Like I said, 75% marginalization is from Southeast political office holders, from House of Assembly to government. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate your contribution. Now, since you see the Igbo leaders as the main problem, not even the outsiders, that means we have 2 enemies now, the enemies from within and enemies from the external territories. Now, how then do you intend to solve this problem of vacuum in leadership, in Igbo leadership? How do you intend to solve it as an Igbo youth leader? What are you doing, and how do you intend to correct this anomaly?
What we need is that we have a short time and a long time political project. That is why we are mobilizing the Igbo youth in Ohaneze Youth as a platform for leadership orientation, political education, and others. So that we also have a Directorate of Leadership Development and Social Reorientation. We can give them the best information what ideal society should look like. And that is why we are mobilizing, so that we can have a new crop of leaders that understand the problem of an Igbo man, that know the enemy of Igbo and solve those problems. Because we cannot continue to do the same thing when we want a different result. If we must assess a different result, we must stop doing the same thing. In order to stop where we have not been before, we must be willing to do those things we have not been doing. And that is why I said that the youth need to start coming into Ohaneze Youth Council. We are doing Congress in all the states, in all the local government and communities to mobilize the youth for political action, for political education. It is when you come close that you will learn. You open your ear and learn. So we are trying to prepare our youth to take over leadership from councillor, from local government chairman, House of Assembly, rep, Senate, and governor, so that we can have a reasonable leaders that know the problem of Igbo and also know how to solve the problem. Because I believe that leadership is all about discovering problem and solving it. And that is why sometimes you see people who try to present themselves, maybe they are professors, or I have PhD holders, or I schooled in Cambridge University, or I schooled in Oxford University. That does not translate to leadership. You can have 20 doctorate degrees and a professor, but you cannot do well as a leader. So our problem is not that look at my qualification. After all, in Abia State, we have a PhD holder as a governor. He messed up the state. Okay, messed up Abia State. It's not about where you did your tertiary institution. It is about passion to deliver a service. We have thousands or millions of PhD holders and professors in Igbo land. Let me ask you, does Southeast look like a place where we have PhD holders and professors? The need for education is civilization. The need for education is civilization. So any education that cannot make someone or make a people, a community to develop, that education is useless.
All right. Are you still there, Comrade Igboayaka? Comrade. The network again. Comrade. Comrade, sir, are you still there?
The qualification of leadership.
Okay.
And I want to tell you that we don't have leaders with pedigree, leaders with integrity, leaders who believe in Asia Fakego, according to the Igbo philosophy. Asia Fakego, good name is better than riches. We don't have such leaders in Igbo land today. And that is why we have a very big problem. Imagine the issue of insecurity in Southeast that have lasted for how many years? An insecurity planted by the former president of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, who caused the insecurity in Southeast in order to demonize IPOB. And we have said it severally. And that is why we believe and know that any place in the world you see prison break, I want to tell you, government in power is aware. You cannot have a successful prison, any successful prison break in the world. 99% of it is by government in power. They must be aware. And that is why we have called them the genesis of insecurity in Southeast after our prison break. We asked them to present the footage of what a prison, they had the camera. And somebody is telling me, immediately they have to say that it is IPOB. Is it IPOB that came to a prison? Those men shot for more than 4 hours. At that time of that operation, from Obinze to Owerri prison is not more than 6 minutes drive. We have a state police headquarters close to the prison. We also even have 2 military generals living close that have machine gun. We also have another machine gun at the government house. And they are telling me that IPOB came and shot for 4 hours. The same people went to a police station and burned 1 or 2 cars there. And no policeman was injured, even bottle. Even a pin could not even pinch the leg of a policeman. There was no reprisal attack. And they are telling me that it is IPOB. And that is why we challenge them to present the footage. Let's unmask the people that instituted insecurity in Southeast. Southeast, since after the war, is the most peaceful place to stay. Especially
all right.
Owerri is a tourism place. That is why we have the highest hotel in Owerri. Every weekend, people will be trooping in Owerri to relax before going back to work wherever they are working. And the Southeast leaders saw all these things, they kept quiet. And that is why I say we don't have leaders here. What we have is here is kitchen slaves that are eating from the crumbs from the table, that are eating from the leftover. And that is why they are so comfortable, relaxing as if nothing is wrong. I want to tell you that insecurity took Southeast more than 50 years back in terms of development. We lost more than 4 trillion naira, both in money and properties, within this period of insecurity in Southeast. And the level of human capital flight, more than 10,000 Igbo youth flew, ran away because of insecurity. Over more than 5,000 people killed because of insecurity. The responsible.
All right, comrade. Comrade, I was going to ask you about the issue of insecurity because it is a very dire topic in the Southeast. Insecurity, some people believe the current insecurity we are having in the Southeast started in 2020 following the NSAS movement. And coincidentally, that was when the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, established the Eastern Security Network. And some people say, yes, the ESN was initially established to combat the rate of the header menace in the Southeast. But then these people believe that the ESN was also subsequently used to propagate the Biafra referendum or the Biafra cause. And because of that, they started to, allegedly cause mayhem in the Southeast. If you don't believe in what they believe, you will be attacked. So what's your reaction? How do you see the agitation for Biafra as propagated by IPOB? And how do you see the current case of Nnamdi Kanu? How do you see him generally?
I think the issue of marginalizing against the Igbo people. When the war ended, Philip Epion told the federal government that if the new generation and young generation were not treated fair, that people will also rise to talk about Biafra. That was what Philip Epion told the federal government when the war ended. And the evidence is clear everywhere. And Igbo man, Igbo have not been treated well in Nigeria political project. And that is what resurrected the issue of Biafra agitation. As simple as that. Now, when you talk about insecurity, let me tell you, IPOB have issued a statement severally that the are not part of any insecurity in Southeast. That even telling the federal government to go against those people that are causing mayhem in Southeast. Our federal government has done that. Instead, what they need to do is they started, attacking the IPOP that are non-violence organization, attacking them. So I want to say it and say it loud and clear that the issue of insecurity in Southeast has no business with IPOP, has no business with the ESN. Now, let me tell you, you watch a clip where the DG of DSS said that we should not wait for police or army, that communities, people should mobilize and defend themselves. Danjuma, T.Y. Danjuma also made a similar statement. Are you getting me? So, when you talk about the issue of ESN, the people that build ESN have said that it is their business is in the bush to protect our farmland against the Fulani henchmen, against the jihadists, against the bandits that are ravaging part of Alibo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Imo, Abia. And that is the reason for that. So is it PSN that did a prison break? That is the question. We are way here in Southeast. We saw people that are called the unknown gunmen. They were walking majestically on the street. They can operate for 30 minutes, operate for 40 minutes. There will not be reprisal attack. They will just do their things and go. And nobody will talk to them. Nobody will touch them. And immediately, Buhari left power. Unknown gunmen start to, way down, go down gradually. Something is fishy. And that is why severally, the Ohaneze Youth Council have called the arrest of the former president of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, and even the former Attorney General, Malami, to question them about what happened during their administration as the president and the Attorney General, because of the relationship two of them had together. So we have not hide our face that the insecurity in Southeast has no business with the agitators, have no business with IPOP. And that is our stand. And there is thousands of evidence concerning that, like I have said, what happened in our prison break. That is an orchestrated conspiracy to demonize the indigenous people of Biafra before the international community. Thank you. Hello? So that is really the thing. So if the government of Southeast, the governors in Southeast want to solve the problem, we have given them a template severally that security is a local issue. Let every communities, youth leaders, and President General organize themselves and have their own security to protect themselves without government influence. Let it be a security of the people, by the people, and for the people. Because the Igbos will not trust any security that is coming from the government. Because if you have a dog that normally bites you, there is no way you can trust that dog. So that is the situation in Southeast, and that is the psyche of our people. They don't have confidence on these people. So any security they will trust is a security that is devoid of influence of the state governors. Let it be a security the youth leaders in communities will organize. Let it be a security the town union president, in collaboration with all the youth leaders in communities, we sit down and organize. And because each community have their own peculiarities and way they can safeguard themselves. So let it be This is the first step a sincere government need to take or support such initiative for people to protect themselves. And we have offered them this idea, we have offered this template to them. But unfortunately, like I said, these people don't understand anything. They're not willing to solve the problem. They are here just to embezzle the government fund. That is why they are there. They are not there to solve the problem of the people. And that is why the issue of insecurity is lingering. Security is a, a local. So if you want to confront issue of insecurity, you have to apply, using the local people to solve the problem. Because any person in any community knows people within around. If you see a foreign face, you will know that this person is not living in this community, and you will monitor such movements. So everybody and the youth in Igbo land need to start mobilizing themselves to protect themselves from every external or internal attack in any form. We must protect ourselves, and we will do it by voluntarily people getting involved in local security vigilante within communities in order to protect themselves. So this is the only way forward for the issue of insecurity. So if our leaders are willing, let them adopt this local way or local means to, solve the insecurity problem in Southeast. Let us see their sincerity in tackling the insecurity, because with the level of insecurity, you cannot talk about development. Nobody will bring business in any area that is not secured. So the first thing that must be done is to make sure that our land is secured. When we secure our land, people will come and invest, and our youth will get jobs. But if the area is not secured, you don't expect any person to invest in any area that has security challenges. So our leaders, if they are really leaders, let them do their duty and responsibility, because the first priority of a reasonable and responsible government is protection of life and property. And they have failed in this area. And that is why we are not hiding our face to say that Nigeria as a state is a failed state. Nigeria has failed. Nigeria is like a ship hit by a tornado. Nigeria is sinking every day. That is the situation we have found ourselves. Thank you.
Just a moment, sir. He has a problem with his network. He will come back shortly. Just a moment, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, sir. I apologize for the little issue. We had an internet disconnection. All right. You were talking about insecurity in the Southeast, and you said that the government is responsible, solely responsible for the insecurity in the Southeast. It has nothing to do with any kind of Biafra group. Am I correct?
Of course, you know that the issue of Biafra agitation led by Nnamdi Kanu almost started in 2012. And since that time, there is nothing like issue of insecurity in Southeast. So if it is about IPOP, the insecurity is supposed to also start when IPOP started. This is a simple fact. And we have said it that our governors, what they need to do is to ensure that the communities in all the states of Igbo extraction have a local vigilante. Security is a local something. The Ohaneze Youth Council have said each community should mobilize themselves, equip themselves, and let the governors make sure that communities that have organized themselves are well funded to protect themselves. This is a simple local way to stop insecurity in Southeast. And several occasions, IPOP have issued a statement that government should go after these people that are killing people in Southeast, that they are not responsible. As simple as that.
All right. What do you think about the way government has been handling Nnamdi Kanu's case? Do you think government has been doing well? What do you think would be the outcome of the case in the future?
Nigeria is created to victimize an Igbo man. The British that created Nigeria created it so that an Igbo man would be victimized. And that is why, from the inception of the country, we are being victimized. And let me tell you, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu doesn't have any case before the federal government. If you watch in 1980 for General Diko, when they wanted to pick him up from UK, the UK government stopped it. That if you want to take him, there is a process to do that. Was that process followed on the issue of arresting Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya? The answer is no. So the Nigerian government doesn't have legal backing to try Nnamdi Kanu. The only thing they can do is to release him. If they want to arrest him, they should go to Kenya, do the normal process to arrest him. Now, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu is not just Nnamdi Kanu. It's victimization of the Igbos. I want to tell the world that it's not Nnamdi Kanu that is on trial. The Igbos are the people that are on trial. The Igbos are the people that are facing this persecution. We are persecuted in Nigeria. And that is why for over 4 years they castrated him at DSS dungeon. It is a infringement of his fundamental human rights. And such treatment can only be given to an Igbo man. Like I said, in issue that concerns an Igbo man, the law will change. Nigeria is a jungle, not even a zoo. Zoo is better than Nigeria. Because in a zoo, the animals are kept in according to their own species. You see lion in their own place, behave like lion. You see leopard in their own place, behave like leopard. You will see snake in their own place, behave like, snake. Nigeria is a jungle where there is lawlessness. The law in the East is not the same law in the West, neither in the North. So whatever you like, you do. And that is why Nigeria is committing, going against its law, on its law of terrorism. They don't have right, they don't have legal backing to try Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. But they are doing that. So I want to tell the world that the Igbos as a tribe, they are the people facing the trial. Nnamdi Kanu is just the face. So it is a victimization against Igbo. Where is Sunday Igbo? Even so, who preach revolution now, they have left him. They have left Sunday. Why are they still holding Nnamdi Kanu? Because he's an Igbo man. And that is why I say that it is very easy to use your leg to cross Atlantic Ocean than to be an Igbo man in Nigeria. To be an Igbo man in Nigeria is a life-threatening tax.
But do you believe in the Biafran cause? Does the Igbo Ohaneze Igbo believe in the Biafran cause, or do you believe in development, self-development within Nigeria? Because we have different versions of self-determination. We have complete independence as being championed by IPOB and several other Biafra groups. Then there are those who believe that the Igbos can still develop within Nigeria. So where does Ohaneze...
There is no hope. There is no hope for an Igbo man in Nigeria. There is no hope for an Igbo man in Nigeria. Nigeria was created to be a third state. Now, you are talking about self-development. I told you that we are cut off from having a seaport. We don't have international airport. We don't have modern railway. We are business people. The Igbos are naturally business people. And when you talk about business, the means of transportation of business through the sea or air, or through the roads by train. How many federal roads in Southeast are good? That is the question. So how do you think that we can survive? Self-survival, how? When they go to Kanu and open, when they go to Kanu and open a dry sea, while we have a potential seaport here that is not functional, while we have One here, they have used policy to kill One because they know that Igbo people can ship through that means. And you are telling me that how do we do that? I told you here that Philip Efyang said that it depends on how they treated the new generation of people extraction. It depends on what the issue of Biafra, whether it will come again, it will not come again. Or do you think that I'm a proud Nigerian? It is foolishness for me to say I'm a proud Nigerian, a system that is not working. There is no white person that will beat his chest and Igbo man say, I'm a proud Nigerian. A proud for what? That the law they are going to use to judge me. An Igbo man will score 300 and will not be denied admission. A Fulani man will score 80 and got admission. In the same country, different law. And you are talking about whether I believe in issue of self-determination. Nigeria is not working. We are calling for federal government to call for a sovereign national conference for people in Nigeria to decide what they want. Nigeria is not working. Which constitution do you think we are using? The constitution we are using in Nigeria is a decree that transformed and they wrote nonsense they wrote, and you want me to believe in such constitution. Constitution written by military juntas.
All right, let me
Even
ask you.
at the time of 1999, let me remind you, at the time Obasanjo was sworn in, Nigeria constitution is not even ready. They have not even abandoned itself. Obasanjo was sworn in with empty paper. That thing they presented that day as constitution was not constitution of Nigeria. That thing was an empty paper. So you can see that the new democracy we ushered in 1999, has scale leg. Obasanjo was sworn in with empty paper, not with constitution. So we don't believe in that constitution. The constitution Nigeria is using today is not the people's constitution.
All right, so I've got what to say.
So I am not a proud Nigeria. I don't believe in Nigeria. The Youth Council and over 50 million Igbo youth believe in what Nnamdi Kanu is talking about. We believe in self-determination. We are calling for federal government so that the tribes and region will decide what they want. Nigeria is not working. Nigeria will not work.
All right. Now, recently, Ohaneze, of course, we are coming close to May 30th, the Biafra Heroes Day. But recently, Ohaneze people decided to change it, to give it a new name, Igbo Day. But IPOB countered that. So, what is your position?
Which Ohaneze Igbo? Which Ohaneze Igbo? Who? The document was signed by who?
That was in the news. Ohaneze and Igbo changed.
No, who signed the document?
Well, it was reported in the news, and I saw it. It went.
Who signed the document? I'm aware that that document was not signed by John Mbata, the PG of Ohaneze and Igbo. I am sure. I have read that document. I have read that information. It was not signed by John Mbata, so it shouldn't be a discussion. So forget about it.
All right.
Any person can just throw anything on the air and say Ohaneze and Igbo. What matters is who signed the document.
Okay, now, what do you think is the significance of the coming day, May 30th? And there is this notion that the Igbos should sit at home. So do you think it is a good idea for the Igbos to sit at home? So what do you think is the significance of May 30th?
I see the May 30th is very, very historical in the life of Igbo. It is very important day that we cannot forget in our life. It is a date that we continue to educate our people. Because the issue of Nigeria-Biafra Civil War was one of the highest genocide in the world against the Igbos, where we lost almost 4.3 million Igbo people. Where the then government of Nigeria, led by Gowon, the advice gave by Awolowo on issue of starvation. Millions of the Igbo children and pregnant women died of kwashiorkor. It is the time and a period where the military, led by Muhammad Buhari, Molitara Muhammad and Haruna, commanded their army to kill more than 700 Igbo men in Asaba. The Asaba massacre, we cannot forget those historical days. So 30th May is a day of Heroes' Day, where we lost our fathers and our mothers. Unfortunately, like I have always said, that war was not fought just by Nigeria government. The war fought against the Igbos. If it is just Nigeria government cannot fight the Igbos. Britain supported them. US supported them. Germany supported them. Russia supported them. That war of 3 years was a war against a tribe. It's a war that all the world power fought against the Igbo tribe. It's not a war, and we don't describe it as a war, because Nigeria government followed all the rules and standards of a war policy. It was a calculated genocide to eliminate the Igbos off the face of the earth. But God Almighty said no. So 30th May is a memorial day. It is a very important day in our life. It is not just sitting at home, and that is why Ohaneze Youth Council, we have urged the Southeast governors to declare that day, Biafra Heroes Day. We have called the National Assembly of Southeast Extraction to pass a bill that 30th May is a Heroes Day, where we organize a symposium, seminar, programs, and discuss how to develop Igbo, how to better the life of Igbo, how to better the life of those, the remaining of the Biafra, Nigeria, the genocide against the Igbos in 1967 to 1970. So that is the position of Ohaneze Youth Council. It shouldn't be just sit at home. It is a day that we discuss our political survival. It is a day that we should discuss our economic survival. It is a day that we should discuss our cultural promotion and our cultural heritage. That day is significant. Where our young men, people that are 15 to 14 years old, said no, that they will defend Igbo. And that is why when people talk about DJ Gowon fought war against the Igbos. Gowon was drinking tea doing his wedding at Victoria Island, Lagos. So Gowon was carried at the back at a titular, and he said he fought the war against the Igbos. No, it was a genocide.
Right, thank you very much.
The Egyptian pilots and Russia, we are throwing bombs
Okay.
They were throwing bombs in exclusive civilian areas, church, market, killing school children. That is not war. That is genocide.
Okay, I appreciate
so,
your
like people using the word Nigeria Biafra Civil War. It's not Nigeria Biafra Civil War. It's a genocide against the Igbos, where we lost over 4.3 million Igbos. So that statement is a Memorial Day. And I'm calling on the Southeast governors. I'm calling on the State House of Assembly to enact a law to make it a Biafra Heroes Day, where we gather to discuss the survival of Igbo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Igboayaka O, National President of Ohaneze Youth Council. It is nice speaking with you. And I love your energy and your enthusiasm for the progress of Igbo. I believe next time we'll have another opportunity to have a good conversation. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm using this opportunity to encourage Igbo youth, every reasonable progressive Igbo youth, to identify with Ohaneze Youth Council in your various states. We are doing this effective mobilization so that we can stage a shocking ballot revolution in 2027 to reclaim our land from this political vampire, from this political cannibal. This is necessary. It is something we must do in order to give a name and a life and a good society for our children. Otherwise, our future has been eaten. We don't have future again. We are now talking about the future of our children. Let the youth hear this. Get involved in the Ohaneze Youth Council. Join us at various levels. Let us rebuild, restructure, and bring back the glory and the dignity of an Igbo man in the world. Thank you and God bless you. Comrade Igboayaka O is still my name. National President of Ohaneze Youth Council. Day one.
Well, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.